in all my years of watching it, I would have never thought in a million years that we would be talking about murder in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Happy holidays, everybody, and welcome to Ridley Defense, the show where a real lawyer talks about fake things. I am Billy Business, and the man whose head is so shiny he could lead Santa's sleigh, Mr. Doug Ridley.
That's amazing. I can lead Santa's sleigh.
And you know what? I wouldn't bully you for your amazing gift.
Thank you.
So
I am not just a misfit.
So we are talking the classic 1964 Rankin Bass Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I have been excited for this episode since
Months.
we started the show.
Yeah. This was planned very early on.
Yes.
I think we knew that this was the end of this season had to be Rudolph.
Oh, for sure. I have things to say.
Oh,
I have. Yeah.
So this, as I said, came out in 1964. It's been a holiday staple. I don't think it's ever not been aired in however many years that is. 60 some odd years.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
So, look, we are certainly not the first people to kind of take a modern day look at this story and be like, But so we're not breaking new ground, kind of. I think everyone has a very strange relationship with this movie because we all are like, it's a classic. I love it. I watch it every year, and it's kind of deplorable.
Yeah. it really kind of is, and you know, watching it again this year. And just thinking about that, there are just so many movies that seemed to have plot points and elements that are designed to toughen up kids. Like, it
was a different time, man.
Different time. And it's just so sad. It's so mean.
Well, let me ask you this. Before we took a real critical look at this, was this something that you grew up with? Was every...
Absolutely. Yeah, I've watched... I can't imagine that there has been a year of my entire life that I haven't watched Rudolph. There might be, like one year we just forgot or missed it or whatever. And I have the same reaction every single time. Like, those jerks, they are so mean to him. And Santa just doesn't need to be.
No. We'll get to Santa. Santa's got a lot.
Santa, as depicted
problems
in this movie, is not my favorite Santa.
But I will say that to me as a kid, Rudolph, my dad had taped it off of TV. So I did watch it on TV when it would come on, but it's like I wasn't waiting for December 20th to watch this. It was like when we put up our tree, the Rudolph tape came out, and that's how I knew it was Christmas. Aww. When Dad said, fine, we can put the Rudolph tape in, I'm like, Christmas has started.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have very warm feelings about this movie. I am not oblivious to the fact that everyone is their worst possible selves in this movie, but I can't also divorce myself from the nostalgia and the warm feelings and, making my kids watch this every year.
Yeah.
It's just, it'll live on forever.
I really think it will. And I spent a lot of time thinking about why it is that we have this relationship with this film when we're going to be talking about so many of the different legal problems with this film. But I agree. There's just, maybe it just reminds us of that time when we were kids and all right, Rudolph's on. It's time to start being excited about the holidays.
It's going to have to be that because there is no message in this movie that is redeeming or that I want my children to take away from it. Just about everything. I'm just like, ooh, baby, that's a spicy meatball.
I can't wait.
We are not a movie review show.
True.
We are a legal show.
True.
So like I said, you've probably seen so many postmodern reevaluations of Rudolph as a, all that stuff.
Right.
But we're looking at it from a legal lens because one of my favorite things that I like to say a lot on this show, it's not illegal to be a jerk.
True.
You can be a jerk.
You are. There are lots of people that are embracing the fact that it's not illegal to be a jerk.
But at a certain point, that you can cross over
Yes.
to being illegal. So we're gonna find where that line is. I think this is a great case study to find where the line of being a jerk becomes illegal.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start with Santa Claus in this because, as you pointed out,
Yes.
not your favorite interpretation of Santa.
No.
And what's interesting too is that the song of Rudolph predates the special.
Yes.
If you look at the words of the song, it's all there in the movie. But then they added that it's like, okay, well, everyone was kind of terrible to Rudolph, but then in the song, Santa sees something in him that no one else does.
Right.
Not this Santa.
No.
This Santa.
That's really too bad.
Yeah.
You just had a baby deer. You just had a baby. I'm here to inspect it. Oh, that's too bad.
I'm here to inspect your baby. So let's start right there.
I would like to see the baby. Just a little Mandalorian.
That was amazing.
Throwback for everyone.
Okay, so everyone, and I mean everyone, even his father,
Yes.
bullies Rudolph.
Right.
Santa included.
Yes.
But not a crime, right?
No. It only crosses that line when if we start seeing Santa as an employer.
Well, this goes back to our elf episode.
True.
Because I watched that episode about 5 times because I edit these episodes.
Right.
I still don't think we came to a true conclusion on A, where the North Pole borders
Yes.
exist, and B, if it is a sovereign nation that Santa is ruler of.
Yes.
I tend to think it is.
Right.
Uh,
Well, and I think if we're just dealing with is Santa an employer, one of the things, and this is different because it's a little more unclear about the reindeer, right? He talks about the 8 lucky reindeer that are selected to fly the sleigh.
Sure.
But this time around, prepping for the show, watching Rudolph, I really focused in on the conversations that Herbie was having, where he gets threatened to be fired. So, you can't fire slave labor, right? And slave labor can't quit.
We don't know if it's
You can't
literal.
fire me. I quit.
It could be literal. He
could
may just
be.
think that fired is I don't work here anymore. Fired could be just like, no, Santa just throws you in his chimney. You're done.
Oh my gosh, is that where the line from the Guardians of the Galaxy song comes
It
from?
absolutely
His
could be.
flamethrower. Watch Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and you'll get what I'm talking about.
It's great. But okay, well, I think for the sake of our conversation today,
Yeah.
whether or not the North Pole is its own place, I think we are adhering to U.S. labor
Yes,
laws and
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
I think that so we said it's not illegal to be a jerk and to bully. I think where we might first start to bump up against things are in the reindeer training, the reindeer games, the coach.
Yeah.
That is clearly a discrimination,
100%.
like under ADA.
100%.
So if Santa, if we're going to assume that Santa is an employer, which I 100% believe that he is. So now what case does Rudolph have against the coach and Santa Claus? Because this is now a culture of toxicity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's discriminated against him for a disability. It'd be no different than if, I don't know, someone had a major birth defect on their face or something like that. The way that they are ostracizing him because of this, I mean, obviously it's not a deformity. It's an amazing special gift. but they are calling it a deformity. They are
Right.
calling it this horrible thing. And oh my gosh, we can't be seen, and how embarrassing, and the way everyone reacts to it instead of just it being cool. I mean, he's slightly different, and so therefore he is being discriminated against. And that coach, oh my gosh, who says, nope, everybody, we're not going to let him play in any of our reindeer games.
He's so blatant
just-
about his discrimination.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't
Nope.
like your face.
Nope.
It scares me.
Yep.
And I don't like it.
I'm not going to let you play with anyone ever. You can't play with others.
Kind of sounds like Tony Clifton.
A little bit. Yeah.
I don't want you to play any of your reindeer games.
Yeah. And bless dear Clarice for walking him home anyway. Like he's
Dude, she friend zones him so hard on that walk home. He's pouting like a little bitch, and then she's just like, there's always tomorrow, weird nose boy. I'm trying to give you
I
one
don't
up here."
think so. I think that she thinks he's cute and kissed him, and she's just a sweetie. It is kind of weird the timeline of everything though, because while it doesn't play a huge role because we're dealing with animals that age faster than
Differently,
humans,
yeah.
but I was noticing that the coach called, come on over here, yearlings. So it kind of made me think that they're like a year old.
I don't know. So here's another interesting thing. And this goes back to if Santa has a whole operation
Right.
here,
Which he
right?
does.
I think he's breeding these reindeer specifically to be part of his operation,
Right.
which we'll talk about that in a second.
Right.
Because I think there's problems with that. But I get the sense that even though he's a kid, Rudolph is still technically an employee of Santa at this point because he's going to training, right?
He's going to training, yeah.
So have we now crossed over into a wrongful termination because he's not allowed to
and
participate?
child labor laws. I mean, I was listening once I kind of zeroed in on the problematic aspect of how old Rudolph is and the timeline and all of those things.
Right.
I mean, I don't know whether reindeer, it's like dog years, whether it's come on internet monkeys, let's go. By the way, we're not discriminating against monkeys here. It's a specific reference from Superman and internet monkeys who troll. Just because
You
we're
had to put a disclaimer for the monkeys that watch our show?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, sure.
I don't want to discriminate. This is a very anti-discrimination show,
Sure.
Especially this episode.
Against animals?
Be-
Except you
because-
monkeys. Type away with your banana breath. Go ahead.
Oh no. But so much of this movie takes place in April. The reindeer games that they're this training and everything. Sam the Snowman talks about it being in April. I'm also super impressed with the fact that Santa comes to inspect a brand new baby who supposedly can say mama and dada, can
Like right out
say
the bat,
Santa, who's not even, I think, named in that scene, and then tells him bye, which he's never heard that word ever before.
I have a theory.
Oh,
We're gonna get into the
super reindeer.
We're gonna get into the misfit toys in a little bit.
Oh,
and I have a theory that I think might tie into all.
Oh my
of
gosh,
this.
I
So
can't
we'll,
wait.
We'll get there.
I can't
We'll
wait.
get there.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
But I want to ask too. It's like, do you? So who's his dad's Donner, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. His
Do you want to
dad.
double check that or no?
No one cares. It's
Yeah, I think
one
it's
of them.
Donner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
knows?
It could be Cupid for all we
It could
know.
be all of them.
Blitz.
That's a different Rudolph. Which
Whoa.
one of you is my dad?
Mamma Mia Rudolph. We know we've narrowed it down to either Blitzen, Cupid, or Donner.
It's the Pierce Brosnan reindeer. So his dad, like, forcibly puts schmutz all
Yeah.
over his face.
Yeah,
to
it's
make
clay
him,
from the claymation ground.
sure,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's
Yeah.
So that's not child abuse, but it's got to be something, right?
It's not. Well,
If my dad made me do something to change my appearance so it wouldn't embarrass him,
right.
I mean,
I guess not.
right?
It's not anything that in and of itself is not anything that would even trigger like a welfare check on that kid. Imagine if a child had some sort of a birthmark on their face.
Sure.
And the dad's response was, well, that embarrasses me. You're not leaving the house with that, purple spot on your face. We're going to put makeup on it every day. That's a bad dad. And that's a horrible childhood for that poor kid. But that in and of itself wouldn't trigger like a welfare check or a crime or anything along those lines.
no legal. I mean, I guess even if the kid's like, I don't want to do this, it doesn't matter.
No, I mean, because it falls under parenting. It's bad parenting, but or if someone wanted,
You're a dad. Could you imagine if our kids were able to prosecute us based on us making them do something they didn't want to do?
well,
Every night brushing teeth.
yeah,
Would be a welfare check.
I would call CPS if you make me brush my teeth tonight, Dad. Wow.
I'm sure that happens though.
Well, there are definitely people that start using the legal system as weapons in parenting and child custody disputes and all those
Both
sorts of
ways
things.
though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen something where like a kid called the police or something because their parents, I don't know, took away their Xbox or something.
I mean, the only thing I could think of that would be justified would be like, for calling them to make them eat Brussels sprouts,
I love Brussels sprouts.
Oh, they're so gross.
Oh, if you like,
No, they're wrong.
If you like really burn the shit out of it,
Right.
oh, they're so good.
Right. And that's the exact same line that everyone uses, but you haven't had them the way Aunt Mary makes them. Oh, she soaks them in butter and garlic and bacon and everything. If I took a wad of toilet paper and soaked it in butter and garlic and bacon and burnt the shit out of them, you would love it.
I'm sorry. This is
And the best thing about it is that it starts as toilet paper, which is objectively not bitter and gross, like Brussels sprouts are.
This is the third time I've had to say, but we're not a culinary show.
But we're not a culinary show.
Okay, so look, Rudolph, in and of itself, it is like, I think the coach is probably gonna.
Yeah, the coach is liable. The coach is busted. Santa's busted.
But Santa's got, I feel like, bigger problems
for
on his
sure.
hand.
Yes.
I feel like just being discriminatory to one employee is
Right.
like the least that Santa does in
Yeah,
this.
and he's consistent. He's mercilessly discriminatory. Even by the end, when it's clear that Rudolph's nose is an asset to the corporation,
Right.
he still is like, "Oh my God, can you at least get that nose out of my face?" After him saying that I've learned a lesson and I've grown and whatever, he still is like calling him out and being a jerk during the announcement that he's going to cancel.
Can you be less you?
I'm canceling Christmas, but please stop the light.
So there's a character that I used to love, I think, the most as a kid that I feel like kind of highlights the darker side of all this, which is Hermie the elf.
Agreed. He is
to-
not just a misfit
He is not just a nitwit.
Right.
And you can't fire him.
because he quits.
Why doesn't he fit in?
He does fit in.
So
I just want to scoop him up and give him a big Christmas hug.
let's start with what is his? I don't remember his boss's name. The real,
Oh, I don't know his.
the perfect middle management looking
yeah.
elf I have ever seen.
Oh, for sure. And I don't know if I actually don't remember his name. But it did make me think about the heights of elves.
Okay.
Because we had our elf episode
Sure.
where he, Buddy the elf realizes he's human because
Right.
he's taller.
Right.
There's a super tall elf in the elf factory
Mm-hmm.
who usually it has a funny line in most of the songs. And then Boss Elf is significantly taller than little Hermie. But it's Hermie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
For a moment, I was.
I saw the look of doubt
like,
on your face. I'm like, yeah.
Hermie? No, it's Hermie.
I mean, I think, yes, I would love to hear your thesis on Elf Heights and how it relates to the power structure.
Right.
But do they get paid? I kind of feel, they say, like, or you get fired. I'm like, but I don't think you're getting paid, because if you are, there's a lot of labor violations.
Well, and then the whole song of him saying, "You can't fire me because I quit," and he crawls out the window, but then like next season he's back in the factory trying to
he crawls out. He's literally has to escape.
Right?
That doesn't sound
he's
like...
He's not quitting out the door. He's not like taking the box of his stuff from his desk and walking out. So he crawls out the window, and then he decides that he wants to create chewing dolls.
I guess the other thing is, like, he tells them, like, I want to be a dentist. It's like, you can't be a dentist.
Right.
That makes me think it's like, no, you do this job.
Right.
If you want to stay here.
If you want to survive
in the country of North Pole,
you'll get disappeared.
So let me ask you this: one of my other favorite scenes is when the boss suddenly becomes a choir director.
Oh yeah.
And
he wrote the song.
It's a great song.
It is a great song.
First of all,
Santa hates it
I love
because Santa's such a jerk.
I love that Santa's just like. And then just walks out.
No, it doesn't just walk out. He said, needs work.
Yeah.
And at the time, he's like painful. He's fidgeting in his seat. It's like he can't even sit still through it. He's so. This is not my Santa.
He's not happy.
No.
So 2 questions for you.
Yes.
Can you, as an employer, force an employee to sing if they don't want to? And 2, can you enforce a policy at your workplace? You must be jolly.
Okay. You can enforce a policy in your workforce that you must be jolly, because here at Ridley Defense, we are all jolly.
Linda, are you jolly?
We're getting a thumbs up from producer Linda. Being
Blink
jolly.
Twice if you need help.
I mean, I seriously put out the last several employees that we've hired, I've said kindness is something that we have as a core value here. And
that's not jolly though.
No, I understand. But if I can mandate kind,
okay,
I can mandate jolly.
Okay.
And if it doesn't fit the corporate culture, you're not jolly enough. I'm really sorry. It's a bad time of year for you to not be jolly.
Is there any recourse I could have if you fired me? My review was great,
right?
But I just was like, he doesn't smile enough. He's not jolly.
At will employment, I would never say smile enough.
What would you say?
I would say not jolly enough. because I would never tell any of my female employees that they need to smile more, because that's the best way to get yourself sued for sexual discrimination.
If you say I'm not jolly enough,
right?
What if I have seasonal depression? Now you fired me for a medical condition.
Only if I knew about your seasonal depression.
What if I say I'm seasonally depressed?
Then I'm going to get you some help.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're not legally obligated.
I'm gonna hug you. And
well, now you ventured more into sexual harassment.
I've crossed the line. If you have seasonal depression, that's a disability, and we would get someone help, just as if someone had an alcohol problem or a drug problem and they were on the job. Like I would get that employee some help. I would get them help for seasonal depression. I also am happy to put as one of my core values, jolly.
Okay.
I mean, after this discussion, it might go on the website at this point. We are jolly, and someone who is not consistent with core values can be fired, and especially in California, that's an at-will employment state.
Yeah.
The chances of me being sued are probably quite a bit higher.
Doug, I've seen you on the phone. You are the least jolly person, depending on who you're talking to.
Well, it depends. There are times where you get.
I've seen you talk to like a contractor that didn't call you back or something. You're like, That was not jolly.
No. There are times when I'm not jolly. I acknowledge this, but I strive for jolliness all the time. And I can legally demand that my employees strive for jolliness all the time. Now, that was the second part of your question, right? The jolliness.
Right.
The first part of it
is,
I think, was, can you mandate that your employees sing?
Yes.
And funny enough, no.
Okay.
But I do mandate that the employees of Ridley Defense sing, because we actually have karaoke nights here at Ridley Defense. So we went to an awesome conference, and we went out and took everybody out for karaoke. And I have one employee that was a little unsure about doing karaoke. So what we do as a legal policy here at Ridley Defense is they get to sing tequila. Because
I feel like you're leaving yourself a Yelp review right now.
Because I mean,
let me tell you why.
Yeah, because the good news is the lyrics are fairly easy, and you can't sing that off key at all.
That's true.
And so, yeah,
you could probably do lowrider too. You just have to.
Yeah, potentially. So,
what are we talking about?
We're talking about can you mandate singing? Because going back
Yes.
to Rudolph,
Yes.
Because poor Hermie gets absolutely ridiculously reprimanded for missing elf practice, for
Yes.
missing the singing practice.
But if he knew that was okay, well, see, here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if Hermie applied for this job.
Right.
If he applied and it's not like something that you are just born you have to do.
Right.
That makes me feel like you do, because Rudolph has to, like, you aren't just born a reindeer and you get free room and board in your cave. Like, you have to participate until you are kicked out. Now, Hermie, they tell him, like, you have to make these toys, but I want to be a dentist. I don't give a shit. Make this toy.
Or you're fired.
Or you're fired. But again,
Yeah.
we don't know if that is literal or not.
So your thesis on that is that Hermie is being kept against his will at the North Pole, and when they say you're fired, what they mean is immolated. Just like torched.
Okay, well then let's assume it's a job and he can leave.
I'm fine either way.
I mean,
I love the idea of flamethrower
Then
Santa.
he's got a case for retaliation, right?
Yeah, he does.
I absolutely think that he does.
Under what grounds? Retaliation? Because he refused to sing?
Because he's refusing to be the elf that they want him to be.
Right.
I think expressing a desire to be anything other than an elf caused retaliatory energy.
So let's pull that into the real world for a second. There's a wonderful bakery down the street, high sweet creamery.
Okay.
And they have ice cream and they have baked goods. And let's say that they hired someone to make cinnamon rolls, because they make really good cinnamon rolls over there. And the person who made cinnamon rolls came into work and was sitting there messing around making tamales. Actually, let's not do tamales. Let's say hamburgers.
Okay.
Right? And so and their boss came up and said, look, I hired you to make cinnamon rolls. That's what we do here, is we make cinnamon rolls. Like, yeah, but I really want to make hamburgers, because that's my life's purpose and my calling is to make hamburgers. Like, you either make cinnamon rolls or this isn't the job for you. So make cinnamon rolls or you're fired.
You know, I'm learning more about you. I think deep down, you're a little capitalist that just loves to exploit the worker. This is not the first time that I've seen.
Maybe just a little bit.
I've seen you defend the big boss.
I think that the boss is actually justified to expect that the people that are working for him, that are making toys, are going to make toys.
Maybe, but also,
instead, I want to play in your mouth. is what Hermie is saying. Instead, I want to poke around in your mouth. Let me see.
That was the worst way you could have worded that.
4:30 Thursday. You have to come in
Listen,
and see me because you got cavities.
Look, I joke.
You don't.
I am not a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
But if anyone tells you they want to play in your mouth, you need to consult someone immediately.
Right.
Tell a parent, a teacher,
Right, exactly.
a police officer,
Yes,
anybody.
call law enforcement.
Don't
for
let
sure.
anyone play in your mouth.
No.
All right, let's talk about someone.
That's your favorite character.
Let's talk about another character I loved as a kid that now as I'm older, I'm like, I feel like you're kind of a weirdo, which is Yukon Cornelius.
So, I mean, one of the things that I found fascinating is his ability to somehow lick the tip of his pickaxe to see if there's gold or silver in the ground.
This was a deleted subplot that they
Oh.
took out. He's not looking for gold. He's not looking for silver. He's looking for peppermint.
Okay, in the version that I just watched, that I streamed off Amazon, I thought peppermint was in there. At the very end, he talks about peppermint.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they included deleted scenes in the Amazon version that's out right now.
So, yeah, this is an illegal thing, but just in case you guys are Rudolph fans or whatever, there's actually maybe, I'm spitballing here, but like 6 to 10 different versions of this special. As we talked about earlier, it had a completely different ending credits the first time it was aired. And then kids complained like Santa never went back for those misfit toys. So the next year they had filmed a scene over the credits where we see what happens to those toys.
Right.
There have been alterations here and there, songs that were taken out and replaced.
Oh, wow.
And as it's been released over the years in VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, different cuts with different additions and subtractions are out there. So there's a good chance if you buy 3 different versions of this that it will be 3 different versions of the film.
Holy cow! I knew that there were some cuts and some edits for commercial insertions and things along those lines, but I didn't know that they were that different. The version that I watched this morning to prep for the show had him looking at and he found a peppermint mine.
That's what he originally was looking for the entire time, which is why he's always looking, be like, nope, not this.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I learned something today. I hope you all did at home too. I mean, that's all right. Yeah. So he wasn't ever looking for gold or silver.
No, because that would just be a bridge too far for this movie. It had to be something a little more tangible. But okay, he's always looking for his peppermint.
Right.
And he's always trying to get one step ahead of Bumble, which is the abominable snowman.
But that he scared me so bad as a kid.
I agree.
I still have like the first shot where he's like just poking his head up over the mountains that look like big humongous mountains in the background.
Right.
Yeah, I get the sense in the first time that we saw him that he is like bigger than a mountain. And then he walks in and he's slightly taller than Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah, he's like a wampa.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I was thinking.
But yeah, that big roar when they're first setting sail on the little piece of ice, you know.
Yeah, and they always do that really cool sound distortion with his. Scares me.
Now, this seems excessive. I want to ask you, his plan at the end, this creature, I'm going to guess is maybe one of a kind. Maybe there's 1 or 2 others out there, but I can't say for sure if it's endangered. But
I love your backstory of Bumble. I love that.
Clearly they say the abominable snowman. It's
Right.
not a, meaning that makes me think it's singular.
Right.
So he takes this animal
Yes.
and he yanks all of its teeth out, which to me is horrifying.
Now, in all fairness, that's your
Yes.
buddy Hermie that did that.
I'm saying, well, they're in it together.
Yeah, they're in it together.
Yeah.
Exactly. And right after they crush his head with a rock.
Yes. So, well, okay. I don't know how this would happen.
Right.
But if I was in some situation like The Gray with Liam Neeson, where I was out in the wild and I was able to subdue an animal, and I just plucked all its teeth out. Like, that doesn't seem fair. I basically killed that thing because it can't eat anymore.
Right.
And then on top of that, they bring this guy back, and it's like, oh, this is almost like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction, where it's like, not only are you like, I took away your ability to eat, to live, or whatever, you work for me now, babe. Put my star on my tree.
I was concerned with steps before that, and I agree with you that because as he's pulling him into the workshop at the very end, there is like some sort of a noose or leash around his neck.
Yeah.
Now, by the time he stands up and he puts the star on the tree, ding, it's not on there anymore. But as he's like pulling him through the door, there's definitely like something around his neck.
What's the closest thing you would? Animal cruelty? Or
yeah, I think it's straight out animal cruelty. Now, rolling it back just a little bit, I was also concerned that, first of all, their plan is so flawed because their plan was to knock him out and pull out all his teeth. Right?
Sure.
Okay. And they're doing that because they don't want him to eat their friends.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know why they couldn't just have knocked him out and then gotten out of there.
Sure.
Which would have been the
I guess it's to
easiest
neutralize a potential threat.
Neutralize a potential threat.
We've learned on this show, you cannot legally stop a crime that hasn't happened yet.
Right. And, I mean, pulling out all of his teeth, but then, right, they bring him back to the door, and it's like, oh, you don't have to worry about him anymore. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, that guy's huge.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling like so emboldened right now? He can just pick up each of you and just smash you into jelly and suck.
Well, no,
you know,
because
and eat him through a straw if he doesn't have any
it's
teeth.
psychological torture. They neutered him essentially.
Exactly. And then Yukon, he comes up all and boos him, scares him so bad that he knocks him off a cliff.
So okay. Would you agree that is the teeth pulling a crime?
Oh yeah, I think it is. I think the teeth pulling is an assault. I think that your only justification for that would be, I mean, yes, you're trying to prevent him from eating your friends, which is a sentence I didn't think that I was going to say today. But no, I mean, it's designed to be mean. It's mean.
Okay, what if let's try to ground this in some sort of reality.
Right.
I'm out walking my kids in a stroller, and there's a dog, and that dog is big, mean, vicious, and looks like it's about to attack. What can I legally do to that dog to protect my kids?
I think until it comes up at you, nothing. I mean, the fact that it's, across the street or whatever, and you're afraid of it.
Okay, no, I'm saying it's coming towards me.
If it's coming up, then it's the same sort of use of force analysis that we've talked about in a lot of things. You can use the force necessary to protect your family, but only the force that's necessary to protect your family, and only for as long as the danger is done. You cannot then go find the dog next week and say, oh, you scared my kids, I'm going to pull out all your teeth.
Well, I think the equivalent would be like, if the dog is charging up at me, I grab a rock, throw it in the head, the dog kind of slumps over, not dead.
Right.
And then I just happen to have a pair of pliers in my thing.
And you're like,
just
all right, I'm going to teach you.
Out.
Pull out all the teeth. It's terrible.
So what crime would I be charged with?
It would be animal cruelty.
And what kind of punishment goes along with that?
It would be commensurate with how bad the cruelty would be.
I pull out all the dog's teeth. Yeah.
I've seen people... I haven't ever seen a case like that,
right.
But I definitely have seen people hurt animals, and they have depending on how serious the injury is to the animal, it can be it can be a year in jail. It can be more than that.
I'm going to guess that dog is going to die. Yeah. If I pull. That's the other thing. It's like Hermie read half of a book and then pulled out all the teeth from this animal.
Right.
It's like, I don't think that thing's going to live very much
and it happened really fast.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of internal bleeding in that mouth.
Exactly. Well, and I was also concerned then about apparently he bounced right?
Yeah.
So Yukon's defense of knocking him over the cliff was, well, he knew he could bounce.
I think he just got lucky.
I think he got super lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other example that I've heard of, I know that there are some people that declaw animals.
Yeah, but you can like take like a cat or someone to a vet and they'll
Right.
Well, I don't know a vet, but there are places
yeah,
you can do
yeah,
it. Yeah.
that will remove their claws, and I think there are definitely people who believe that is as cruel as what we're talking about with Bumble. So, but you can do that if it's under proper circumstances. So I don't know. I'm a little stuck on that part of the analogy with Bumble, but
the problem with Bumble is that he is so feared and hated by everybody that I don't feel like there's an elf prosecutor. There's no elf PETA,
Right. Exactly. Well, I mean, because if there would be, then they would be protecting Rudolph. But
that's a good point.
Yeah, but
I guess they all hate animals in this movie, right?
I guess.
All right, let's get to the Island of Misfit Toys because I want to get back to something that you mentioned earlier about Rudolph being able to know words coming out.
Yes.
Now, this is not a legal thing, just something I literally never thought about until this last viewing. We see Santa's elves making toys.
Yes.
Right? Just straight up toys. Nothing special about them. When we get to the Island of Misfit Toys, every single one of those toys is sentient.
Yes.
And can talk.
Yes.
And can feel and think.
Cry.
And cry.
Feel warmth because they sit around a campfire.
I am starting to wonder if this is a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 high evolutionary thing where Santa did some experiments like, what would Christmas be 27% jollier if all this shit was real? And then maybe Rudolph is also part of this test of like, how did he know coming out? Because Rudolph is a test tube baby. I think he was genetically engineered.
What if Rudolph's a toy?
Inception. So the Island of Misfit Toys, I mean, first of all, they were made by Santa, or at least by Santa's elves, and then ditched. There's got to be some, I don't know if it's child abandonment, but there's got to be some sort of like, you can't create a life and then just like throw it away.
It's like leaving a puppy in a dumpster. I mean, it's that level of terribleness. But also, are we then assuming that every toy in this world comes from the North Pole?
Every toy for Christmas, because there's still toy stores.
Because we get a line that King Moonracer flies.
Your favorite holiday icon, the flying lion king. What were Rankin and Bass smoking, man?
Yeah. It's really something, and the idea of a winged lion who roams the world looking for misfit
sentient toys that Santa left. He's cleaning up Santa's mess.
Right.
I think he's a part of this.
He's a fixer. He's a fixer. Yeah. And then they're, So how do we explain the sentient toys? And at what point do they gain sentience?
That the movie never explained.
Because Hermie is painting a train.
Right. And we see
it's not a train with square wheels.
Right. This seems like Santa had a batch that he was experimenting with.
It's the Bad Batch.
I think the other thing that's crazy too is they do their little song where they tell everyone about here's my disability or here's my defect or whatever.
Right.
I would say at least half of them I'm like, I'm a water gun that shoots jelly. It's like, that's user error.
Right.
Stop putting jelly in it, Derek. It's a water gun. Fixed. Done.
Or the doll that just had the wrong name.
Yeah, I'm a Charlie in the box. Why don't you just call yourself Jack?
Right.
And just go on with your life.
Ready? Your name's Jack now.
Fixed. Like, this seems like
Yeah.
these toys are self-inflicted.
It wasn't just me, or is the cowboy riding an ostrich rad?
Yeah.
It's rad.
Why would you not want that?
Right.
That seems like very, very, like, I don't know,
Right.
Disney-ish.
But I think where we get into problems is the bird that can't fly,
Oh boy.
but can swim because it has a tail fin like a mermaid.
So if you don't remember the song, let's watch this clip real quick where the bird explains what his problem is.
How would you like to be a bird that doesn't fly? I swim.
Okay, so he's a bird
Right.
that can only swim, right?
Right, which is weird and awesome and amazing. And I mean, probably if that toy was made today, would fly off the shelves.
Too soon, Douglas.
No, but I mean, that would be really popular. I mean,
Okay.
it's a fish bird.
I agree. Everyone loves the fish
Yeah.
bird. Now, here's where I told you they went back a year later because kids complained what happened to those misfit toys. And they filmed a new sequence that's now in the end credits. So most likely the version that you watch has the scene where there's an elf in Santa's sleigh.
Yep.
And he opens an umbrella for all of these misfit toys we've met. And they use it like Mary Poppins, like a parachute to go down.
Which seemed overly complicated to me.
Yeah. But anyways, we get the gist of it, right?
Right.
They're being flown because Santa can't be bothered to actually. Oh, you don't get to go with the good toys. Like you gotta find your own way.
Right, I'm not bringing you down the chimney.
You're not chimney worthy. Don't.
I got my reputation to protect here.
But this poor bird,
Yes.
this elf,
Yes.
is nothing. Just like he opens the
Yeah.
umbrella, he gets this bird.
Yep.
It's like,
Looks at him.
he's like, nah, f you, bird. And the bird is like, no, I don't want.
And he tries to flap his wings, which makes it even worse.
I mean, that's straight up murder, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm assuming that this elf knows that these are defective toys in
Right.
some way.
Right.
I probably would guess that he probably knows exactly what the defect is. If, again, it's one of those things where it's just like, I think that he's got a little smug ass look on his face, still holding the umbrella.
Right. Holding the murder weapon.
That's murder.
Right, it
There's
is.
literally a
Yeah,
murder
no-
at the end of this movie.
Right. They fixed the credits, but left in the murdering elf.
So, I mean, he's one of Santa's employees.
Yeah.
I mean, could you get Santa on that too?
You couldn't get Santa on murder, but
He's driving the vehicle.
True. But but they're arguably not out there committing crime. So I think that would be the distinguishing
Who's
factor.
they?
Santa and his murdering
there's
elf.
no way. Look at it again.
Uh-huh.
There's no way that elf. Look at that face. That elf
the elf
knows what he's doing.
No. The elf
Yeah.
knows. I'm not suggesting.
Okay.
The
That elf
is,
knows.
The elf is a
exactly
murderer.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that I don't think. But Santa's not out breaking into houses, committing crimes, doing those sorts of things. Arguably, he's only there by invitation only, and only for the good little girls and boys. But if Santa was out there like committing crimes and his co-conspirator committed an extra crime, we've talked about that before. They're both good for the murder of the bird. But Santa's not out there committing crimes, so he's not.
He is. We established in Elf that he is breaking and enter, even if he's leaving cool stuff. It's still like he is expressly out there,
Right.
to commit crimes.
You really want me to say Santa's a murderer?
I would like you to say that Santa is responsible for the death of a life that he created.
By employing a murdering elf who wanted to save one umbrella. What if his motivation was like to bring that umbrella home?
It kind of reminded me of the beginning of Dark Knight Rises, where all of Bane's guys, he's like, "No, we need one in the wreckage, brother." Like that was like the sacrificial bird that Santa was like, he knows too much. He was just find a way, make it look like
There's
an
a whole
accident.
backstory where he was going to go to the papers.
Why would they do that? Here's the thing. I could totally see production-wise if the animators were just like, oh, we forgot one umbrella.
Yeah.
They literally pull the umbrella out and like, nah. Like, there has to be a reason, right?
The only thing would be is if we assumed that elf didn't know that fishtail bird can't fly. Now, that would be the only defense. I'm not saying that I buy it because
Okay.
I think he's a murdering bastard who killed a fish bird. The only one of his species, apparently.
Right, yeah, that's it. That's done.
The race of fish birds.
Part of me thinks it's like, were you the one that did that one? And it's like you don't want anyone to know your perfect record was blemished.
Oh, maybe he's covering up his workplace mistake.
No, wait, I won't tell anybody.
So ridiculous.
Okay, so Santa's a murderer. As long as you tell me that, like, yeah, Santa is at least getting something.
So Santa would be more likely to be civilly liable.
For
So
wrongful death.
so let's say that he wasn't the last of his species.
Okay.
And the other fish birds like find out that their fish bird brother was burnt by the elf who made him wrong.
Right.
And then they wanted to sue Santa's whole operation for wrongful death.
Yeah.
The employer is responsible for the actions of their employee in a wrongful death lawsuit. So civilly, I mean, I did eventually bring it back to the law
Sure,
here.
yeah.
Civilly, Santa's good for the
So
wrongful
Santa's
death.
just making he's literally is a mob boss. So you will literally sleep with the other fishes once you hit the bottom of the ocean.
you know, I think if I had to defend Santa, and I wouldn't, not in this episode, because I don't like this Santa at all. But maybe we chalk it up to the fact that somehow he gained like 200 pounds in an evening, and so maybe his decision making ability was off because he was in like some sort of like blood sugar
glucose stupor.
Glucose.
That is the worst defense I've ever heard.
Oh, I know. No, it's like the Tweaky defense. It's terrible.
I mean, I think the problem too is like if these are sentient, right?
Mm.
And Santa moved them to this island.
Right.
And then kind of got ratted out because it sounds like Rudolph is the first person to be like, hey, did you know that there's this island?
Right.
Like, first of all, Rudolph is becoming someone's dinner the next day. You know, I'll tell you that. He's going to be in a bottle of glue after this Christmas. Second of all, I'm pretty sure that just means that Santa is if these are sentient, he's a human trafficker. Is this not trafficking? What is the legal definition of human trafficking?
Yeah, I mean it's super complicated, but the idea that he has somehow taken these sentient toys from all over the world, I guess rescued is the theory, right? But then redistributes them all over the place. Yeah, I mean that's people go to prison for that.
I mean, okay, this also poses another problem. Let's assume we were able to overlook everything. I can overlook the trafficking, the blatant murder.
Right.
But now we are dealing with a group of sentient toys.
Right.
They are alive.
Yeah.
And we're going to, someday we will do Toy Story and we are going to hit this exact same problem again. The difference between the train that Hermie made and painted and giving that to a kid, great, you gave him a toy. The train with the square wheels that is alive and knows it and feels and everything, you've now given it to a kid. Is that, again, like, is that, you can't own a person like that. Yeah.
You can't.
That's trafficking, right?
Right.
Just forget about all the other gifts on his sleigh. Helping those misfit toys, that is literally just like giving it, like they're kind of slaves to whatever kid they give it to, right?
True. But they've also apparently been bugging Santa for years about wanting to be placed in a home. Right? I mean, he's like, oh, another Christmas Eve here by ourselves. Like Santa overlooked us again. So they want to be trafficked. Is I think
that a defense?
I think is the defense.
Your Honor, I wanted to be assaulted and battered.
Well,
it's okay.
Yeah.
That to me sounds like. Weren't you talking about an episode where it's like you have to be careful because sometimes when people say stuff like that, it's like under duress or coercion or something. You know?
Exactly. So, but there definitely would be a difference if the toy was kidnapped, right?
Which we don't know.
Like they're all sitting there by the campfire.
How did they get to that island?
And Moonracer just comes in and scoops them up and says, "Guess what? You're going to Billy's house for Christmas." Ha ha ha.
Yeah, they would love it at my house.
Well, of course they would. Who's the bad kid in Toy Story? Sid. They're going to Sid's house.
I'm just thinking if a kid can cry, you probably shouldn't legally be allowed to own it. You know?
I agree.
I feel like that's just a good
I agree.
principle.
I agree. But they all want to be owned. I mean, there's a line in Rudolph where they talk about how they all want to be owned by a kid.
So wait, I have a question.
Oh.
Kid breaks one of those toys.
Right?
Is
Assault.
that assault?
You're breaking a sentient.
I didn't ask for the real train, the train to be alive. Like, give me one that's dead so I'm not legally on the hook for it.
I want to play with dead toys.
All right. So Santa finally at the end, Rudolph comes back.
He needs a headlight.
Which seems like you couldn't find one anywhere.
Right.
You couldn't have the elves stop making everything else and just make a big ass spotlight.
Right.
I digress.
And maybe a fan. A spotlight and a fan. That's all he needed.
Simple.
Yeah.
So if Santa has been at least allowing a culture of toxicity, bullying, harassing, and then kind of gaslights Rudolph into, I mean, is this just more predatory behavior? I guess like if you're building a case and like an ADA type of case against Santa in his workshop, does using him just add to it, or does it make a difference?
I don't know that it adds to it
because he in a way fired Rudolph, right? He's not allowed to participate.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then Santa's employee said, "You're not. Nobody's allowed to play with this kid."
Right.
And then he disappears, and then he comes back, and Santa, for some reason, has a change of heart and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was mean to you," kinda, and then decides to let him light the sleigh.
But would Rudolph's case be harder or not as successful because he does take Santa up on that, and he's like, "Yeah, that's great. I would love to do that."
No, I think that one nice day of treatment isn't going to make up for all of the trauma and damage to that poor kid's psyche.
All right, let's get into our fan questions here.
Okay.
All right, Megan asks, if Rudolph's nose is a public safety tool, could the North Pole legally compel him to use it as critical infrastructure? I think we just established that maybe Santa could have just diverted some resources into
a light bulb.
Right.
Yeah. Just put headlights on the sleigh. That's it.
Daniel asks, does King Moonracer commit kidnapping by collecting misfit toys without express consent? Now, we don't know how he collects them.
That is, it still is one of the biggest mysteries about this story. There's so many weird things about this story, but the existence of King Moonracer is the strangest aspect of this story.
I love, too, that he's like, I collect people who have no home and give them a home. Oh, that's great. Can we stay here? No. One night in our smallest room.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're and Yukon Cornelius even calls him out on it. Yeah, like we're
Again,
even
it's just like everyone's an hole in this.
exactly.
No one is
So,
helpful.
but to answer that question, I think we don't have enough information. I think that in order to answer the question about Moonracer kidnapping or not, we would just need to know whether or not he's rescuing or not. He certainly makes it sound like he's rescuing abandoned toys, but of course that's what someone would say. That's
Yeah,
kidnapping someone.
I'm not convinced
No.
that Moonracer is not in league with. Show us the Moonracer files. Unredacted.
Release the Moonracer files.
Now this question, I don't know if I agree with the setup, but
Okay.
Tyler says, if Rudolph is legally a minor, can Santa require him to lead a hazardous aviation mission? Which I feel like we don't have a grasp on how old Rudolph is by the end.
Yeah.
Because he's gone. They say he's like gone once he leaves Yukon and Hermie. They say he's gone for what, a year?
I don't know. They don't actually say.
It's a
but
big enough gap that his horns grow to like man size, or whatever.
But it also feels a little bit like it's April to December.
Yeah,
But I mean, we're talking about animal growth, which is different and different speed and different rate than human growth.
I mean, if they age that quickly, no wonder Santa has to have replacements. All that you make it for like 2 Christmases and then you're retired.
Right.
You're just donezo. So yeah, I will use my legal degree.
Okay.
No, you can't have a minor do that if he's a minor.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, this is more of just a generic Santa Claus question from Allison here. Could Santa be detained for smuggling by crossing international borders with undeclared cargo?
Sure.
Yeah.
Aerial customs could stop him.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not paying tariffs on any of those.
Toys that he's
maybe
importing and
that's the
exporting.
problem. They saw how much that bird was going to cost as soon as they crossed. He's like, peace out.
You're not worth the tariff. Too big of a customs fee.
Now, this is not really a legal question, but sometimes I just like to get your opinion on these things.
Great.
Could the elves unionize? And would a Christmas Eve strike against Santa cripple the entire operation? I mean, yeah. Well, no. Christmas Eve, you got to be done by then, right?
Well, we say that, but then there seems to be like this literally 11th hour panic of we got to get everything ready to go. I mean, every Christmas story that we see talks about, the 11th hour panic, we got to get going. So yeah, you would think that somebody that has a whole year to plan might not wait until the, couple days before Christmas.
I would say you should probably be done constructing toys by December 15th. Because you have to think like around November, like Black Fridays when kids are like, oh, this thing, I really want this thing. You don't get a really great sense of what a kid wants until like right after Thanksgiving, right? So there is a crunch time. But I would say like also Santa wraps, and wrapping takes just as long as
a lot
making
of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would assume you need everyone to stop constructing, start wrapping. And then that sled should be packed and ready to go by the 23rd.
I agree. Yeah, I think you need to be Santa's operations director.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Why am I hanging out with you?
Wasting your time. I would think that going back to the question, yes, the elves can unionize 100%.
To the question.
and then can they strike? A Christmas Eve strike would absolutely cripple his operation. No question about it. All of that last minute stuff. I mean, how is Santa gonna, spend his time gaining a couple 100 pounds in the hours before Christmas if he's got to, wrap his own presents?
All right, Jenna asks, are toys sentient before reaching the island of misfit toys? That's what we want to know, Jenna. We are also wondering the same thing.
Yes.
So we don't know. You tell us in the comments if they are or not. Naomi says, is Donner, so I guess his dad is Donner.
Okay, good.
Is Donner guilty of falsifying a medical condition by concealing Rudolph's nose?
There's not a falsifying a medical condition.
Well, he sends them to training,
Right.
without disclosing
That he has this disability.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm trying to think of a way around it, but I mean, the answer is no, he's not guilty of that. He's guilty of being a jerk, but I don't think he's, going to be legally liable for hiding the nose, unless the parents of all the kids are going to sue him for trauma.
Maybe if
Because
it was
Fireball's eyes got really weird.
Maybe if it was contagious.
Ooh,
Because
that's like sending your kid to school with COVID.
which is not illegal, but it's a move,
It sure is.
and it happens all the time.
It sure does.
Travis says, does Santa's constant surveillance of children violate global privacy laws?
Yes.
Good. And Melissa wants to know something we haven't talked about at all. Is Mrs. Claus legally implicated in everything that Santa is guilty of?
I don't think so.
She's a mob wife.
Right. Which means she's off the hook.
She just kind of turns a blind eye.
Right.
She likes the lifestyle she's got. She was like gray ass castle.
She's just great castle. Just tries to make her hubby eat all the time.
Why Santa's living quarters, by the way, there should be just ribbons and red and colors. It's so dreary. It's like Dracula's house.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. The design. I mean, they Moonracer's castle is nicer than Santa's workshop.
Like Santa Claus should be like farting sprinkles everywhere he goes, and instead
I don't know if that's the line I draw, but
he
okay.
just looks like everything is gray. I mean,
Yeah.
is it to just sell the idea that Santa's really depressed this year?
Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like we have just absolutely desecrated a movie that I fully intend to watch one more time before this Christmas is over.
Well, and there is something so sweet about rooting for our underdog, our Rudolph.
Which
because
I
we
think
love Rudolph.
we as the audience are the only people rooting for Rudolph.
For sure.
Almost nobody sets him up to succeed.
I mean, let's think about that. I mean, I guess Hermie and Yukon are on his side.
But they're more interested in committing atrocities to animals.
That's true. Rudolph's next.
Right.
But Clarice is super nice to Rudolph.
She is.
Yeah. His mom seems to be nice to Rudolph.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about Donner's, no, that's men's work.
Oh my goodness gracious.
The fact that there have been edits of Rudolph and somehow that hasn't been eliminated yet, it's time. It's time. Whoever is doing the Rudolph edits, it's time for the Donner edit. And just edit or edit out every scene with Santa and just have him at the end like actually smile and be like, oh, what a wonderful nose you have, Rudolph. That saves the day.
They are just like, listen, you stupid doe. And then it's like, I said doe. I think even when Rudolph comes back as an adult,
Yeah.
it's just like his mom is the one that's in, isn't it? Like his mom or Clarice was it was the women that were finally like, none of the men are getting this done. Let me get out of here.
Yeah. He's like, no, this is men's work. But then they went anyway.
Yeah.
And the women's, they caused troubles.
Yeah, but pretty much.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying that young feminists should use Rudolph as a sounding board for, all their ideas about how we should treat women, but it was kind of for better or worse.
Yes.
We're talking this was made in the early 60s. We're coming out of the 50s.
Right.
The June Cleaver type.
Yep.
It's, women are in the kitchen and men are in the workforce.
Right.
That was the mentality. But I agree. That being said, I think if you cut stuff out of this movie at this point, you're going to have a lot of angry people that are like,
I don't know. The people that are angry about, no, this is men's work. Anybody who's angry about that line being cut, I don't know. I'm okay with them being angry.
Well, I think that maybe you could make your own Doug cut. Because there's so many different things cut out from all the... If you want to see the original ending without the Misfit toys, you can find it on YouTube. We looked at it before. You can find it on YouTube, and it's all grainy, black and white. But I'm telling you, there's like a lot of stuff in this movie that's not in this movie.
Wow.
Or stuff that's in this movie that was not originally on TV.
I really feel like the peppermint mine thing, it was the first time I'd ever seen that this year.
Yeah, and that seems like kind of a big thing that they maybe should have kept in. It
Yeah.
doesn't take a whole lot of screen time, and
No.
it explains why he's a weirdo. Look, yes, this movie's problematic. Yes, I love it. It just makes you feel like Christmas, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's because of what you mentioned before. It's because of Hermie and even with his teeth pulling nastiness. But we love Rudolph, and we just want to take care of Rudolph. And I think at the end of the day, that's what makes it feel Christmassy, and that's what makes it feel like a good, warm movie. Between that and the music, it no matter how many problems are in that movie, I'm still gonna like it, and I'm still gonna watch it.
Plus, if you really want to try to justify it to yourself, we're hearing all of this story from Sam the Snowman. He could potentially be biased.
Oh,
He's
the Sam the Snowman edit.
he might be an unreliable narrator. He might be sprinkling some personal ideologies into this.
What if Santa was nice the whole time, but Sam just had a beef with him?
It was like a pay dispute. It's just-
Something over royalties, over
splitting
silver
lies.
and gold.
Well, speaking of royalties, please watch our stuff over the holiday break.
Yeah.
All the episodes now for this first season, 24 episodes plus a bonus episode for Wicked for Good. So
Yeah.
25 full episodes.
It's like you can watch it every day of December.
You could.
Leading up to Christmas.
Forget about 12 Days of Christmas.
Right.
You don't need a partridge in a pear tree.
Right.
You need to go back and watch our Back to the Future episode.
There we go.
I think you need you need a George McFly in a pear tree.
He was.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I know a lot of you have been with us since the very beginning. We really appreciate all the support. We have had a great time getting this launched, starting with Revenge of the Sith all the way through Rudolph.
Yep.
And we'll be back in 2026.
With more fun. And give us your suggestions, too. Put it in the comments.
Someone said National Treasure, and we are absolutely doing National Treasure
that'll be
next
fun.
year. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Somehow kidnapping the president seems less egregious than the things we just talked about.
Right. Certainly with all of the kidnapping themes we've had over the course of the year.
So much kidnapping. Happy holidays to you, whichever one you celebrate. We love you guys, and we will see you in the new year.
Well, it needs work. I have to go.